Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Feist Life channel. We are today at Six Nations of the Grand River. We're at the training center here for the fire department, and we're working with Firestar to do a training day here with, as you just saw, sorry for my terrible camera skills, the burn tower here. Well, that's the burn tower. This is what's called flash cam, right? So I don't think we can get a view in the back to close it up. So let's go over here, take a look inside. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh, look at that. She's getting a little smoky. I know I shouldn't be on here technically, but I mean, it's not going to kill me more than anything else. This is a burn barrel back here. This is where we're going to have a fire. As you can see, it's in a uplifted portion, and that is so that I'm going to just turn the camera here and set it down for a second. That is so that down here in this portion of the floor, right, you're a little bit more protected while in a training environment to show what happens when a room, that room back there, the burn room, flashes over, right? All the contents that's unburned in the smoke, everything else that's in here, all the wood, everything, you'll all see it light. It'll flash out above your head. Flames will be rolling down, and I'll have a fire cam on my helmet, so we'll get to see that. Anyways, let's get to it. The day is not going to set up itself, so. We're gonna set this down, and then see when we start. All right, let's take a little look-see here. Oh, trip! Oh, some of it fell out. Pretty smoky. Oh, no, not really. It's like a campfire now. Yeah, I might want to. I want to put some more on that. Let's go with that. Got our pieces here. Shove some of these in there. These little guys gotta do for now. Alrighty. Here we go. Come on. Oh, gross. Hand trace. Let's put this back in there. Oh, it's falling apart on me. That was hot. Woo. All right. And we will just. Oh, we're not going. We're just gonna let that go. Look at that, already growing back up. All right, beautiful. And then we're gonna come back outside here. I'll just show you the compound again. We got our truck running now. It's coming off of a hydrant to a Y gate behind the truck there, which is on the other side, on the driver's side there, coming into the panel. And then one of those off the Y gate comes directly to the instructor line on the inside here. And then this orange one, which is for the students, that is coming directly off of the officer's side of the pump panel there. So that way we can give them the best control of pressure and whatnot. We don't really need that much control of pressure on the instructor line. We just need as much water that will throw through there, and we got a good hydrant, so no more than that is really needed when you're using the straight bore tips we got. So big water. All right, so we just came back inside from the can, keeping it warm, keeping the fire stoked. Right now, everybody's in class. So we're gonna go snoop, see what they're talking about.
So when we look at an average fire, this is my time. This marker's done. This marker is dead. That's time. This is going to be temperature. All right, we look at when a fire begins. What used to be was we have an ignition point, and there's this thing called growth, right? Start to grow, 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 and then there'd be a point where it would peak, and that would be your flashover point, somewhat roughly here, kind of keep growing, and then fully developed, and then it kind of comes back down as it decays because they've eaten up all the fuel, and then it kind of just dies, right? A nice gentle bell curve. That's how fires used to be way, way, way back before I was even born. But now, what we're finding is, and I'll back up, the temperature we see, something like this in the old times, you're looking at, 1,000 to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, and I'll back up, I'll put something here, you'd be looking at roughly 20 minutes to 30 minutes for this to kind of occur after ignition. Right, a long time, get that temperature, have that flashover happen if it were to happen, and then fully develop and kind of die off. That's how it used to be. What we're finding nowadays, what we're going to be going to, draw over here instead. We're finding ourselves ignition. We're going right up. Sharp spike in temperature. In 5 minutes, we're achieving up to about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit with a very short time frame. Okay, we go up, and then we have a sharp decline. Because what's happening?
Room's fully evolved.
Nope. What's being sucked up?
The air.
That's it, right? So we go into this, right? It becomes vent limited. So at this point, vent limited. We're looking roughly at this point here, this might be at the, say, 10-minute or less. So it could be 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Then something happens, okay? Something's gonna happen at this point where we bring in air. So that's going to be a would-be rescuer stops and says, hey, I'm going to help. I can open up all the doors and windows. Well, the cops get there before we do. They go, hey, I'm going to be a hero. They break all the windows. Or we show up on scene and without coordination go, hey, I'm going to break all the windows. Right? Open the front door and see what's going on. Leave the door wide open. So at that point, we have a sharp increase again because everything that's in this room is superheated because of all the radiant heat and all the breakdown of components in there and all the fuels that are there fueling it, just waiting for that air to come in, right? It does come in and it's a sharp spike. Now we're getting into the 2,000 degree plus era of the temperature realm, and at that point then we start to see our fully developed fire take place, and then things kind of start to go as it were here if we're putting our water on. If not, it can then just keep repeating itself like watching an EKG printout on a cardiogram where this can keep going down like this, and it can keep going as long as you have what? Fuel, heat. The reaction's there, it's just missing the O2, the air to fuel it. And so you keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. But hopefully, what's going to stop that intervention is going to be our efforts So hopefully when we come into the picture, I'll back up, this can take place. So we're looking at, between that 5 to 10 minute mark is where you have this increase in same temperature taking place, and this behavior happening. Our response times from the time the fire begins, that's not when we get dispatched. Because fire begins, there's going to be a timeline of fire happens, someone has to notify it or notice it, they notice it, they then call 911, 911 takes information, they then dispatch that call to us, then we get to call, we gotta get ready, then we get ourselves on the road and respond, and then we arrive on scene. And then we go to work. That's not happening here. So in our case of a fully staffed department, we may be arriving on scene, guess when? Guess when? Maybe here. Or it could be later, depending upon how long it took for someone to notice it after it's ignited. And then call for 911 and from there go on down the chain. So that there can be a longer gap, which means we may be coming in way down here, which might be the fully developed, it's going at that point in time, right? But let's say we get here, we pull in here, we get there pretty quick, we're gonna go to work, but we have this insane temperature happening inside that house. What is going to help us take the temperature from here and drop it down to here? What's going to work?
Water.
Water, exactly. I put water, I start hitting, take my hose, I take my hose, my nozzle, I got an A18 with the pump panel as far as the firefighter that day working, driving the truck. Get the right pump pressure, and they are sending the proper water. I'm coming in, and by me doing the proper application, and I'm not just hitting, putting water at the base of the fire, I have to cool the environment down. That's the walls, ceiling, walls, floor. By doing that in a very effective manner, it's going to bring my temperature right down. And I bring my temperature right down. What happens to the fire? Kill it. Right? If I can remove the heat, there's no more fire. I can't take the fuel out. That takes too much work. It'd be impossible for us to go in there and move all the stuff out of there while it's burning. So I can't touch that. I can stop the flow of air, which we'll do in there by closing the door, right, shutting it off. I can make it ventilated for a reason, to try and reduce the air, but it only lasts so long. I still have heat, and heat's the main culprit, so I have to remove the heat. Can I interrupt the chain reaction? Yes, but I'll interrupt that by removing the heat. Remove the heat, the problem goes away. So I'm telling you all this because when we arrive on scene, don't be expecting me to walk in and go, hey, I can see my feet, it's not a big deal, we'll just have some fun. It's not going to be. It's going to be insane temperatures. It's going to be, because of these insane temperatures, let's look at what happens. What's happening to the structural integrity of my firebox? What's it doing to this? Give me some ideas. What's happening to my walls and ceiling and floor, the structural components with that insane temperature? Yeah, it's all breaking down. It's losing its structural integrity. And what are homes built with nowadays? Are they all concrete? No. What are they built at? OSB, that's one. What else? 2x4, yeah, 2x4s, 2x6s, all lightweight, truss construction. You have laminate beams. You're going to have, what else? Blue lumber, that's that new blue lumber, mold resistant lumber, knows how it is in fire. But yeah, truss construction, lightweight wood, laminate, man-made engineered wood products. back up. What is a laminate beam? Knows what a laminate beam is. Okay, what is a laminate beam? Go ahead, Justin, tell me what a laminate beam is.
LVL basically is like just glued on, stacked on stacked on stacked, and just layer after layer glued together.
That's right. If you look at man-made engineered wood, it's not grown on a tree, cut down and sawn into 2x4 or 4x8 sections of wood. Engineered wood is made in a factory based on the garbage of the wood industry. So we take all the trees, chip them down, we cut our 2x4s from trees, all the garbage chippings from that nice big tree gets collected and gets sent off to a plant, and they make OSB sheets or laminate wood, laminate beams and other things like that. So your OSB sheet that's sitting there by that porch right now, it's 7/16 thick, so it's almost a half inch, right? It's sitting there, looks like a solid piece of wood. But how's that made? I'll tell you how it's made. You get a nice big platter like this. It's actually a lot larger, probably the size of this room. But a nice big platter. They blow all these wood chips about yay high on top of it. Then they apply a spray or some kind of chemical glue onto it. It then gets rolled into a big pancake oven. The pancake oven comes down, compresses it, and at the same time cooks it. And what comes out? 7/16 piece of OSB sheet. And then cut in 4x8. There you go. Put the markings on it. Done. Right? Strong, but what's it really comprised of? Wood chippings. Held together by glue. Laminate wood beams, as Dustin described, the same thing. Layered.
All right, pretty cool. We're gonna go back out, check on the fire. Make sure that thing's still keeping warm and toasty, because we don't want it to die out before we get things started and really build it up. So let's get back out there. Just to show y'all what it's like before it gets pretty crazy, right? We'll step in here. And you see how hazy it is up here, right? I'm gonna flip it around here. You see pretty hazy up here, or if you open the door, here, right, pretty hazy. Watch this. Can you get it low enough? Well, I think it's a little turbulent right now, but you can see a little better, right, as opposed to all the way up here. Look at that. Yeah. That's going pretty well now. That'll stay pretty warm for some reason, I think. We'll put more in there in a minute. Alrighty, so we've got the fire going. I just wanted to take a look here with the camera, because this would be pretty cool. So you get a nice cool look at this. Let you guys hear it. Look at that. That's pretty freaking sweet, ain't it? Oh, right on. Okay. Yeah, she's doing it.
Good, so it's going.
This is Mr. Mark Vanderpleis here, president of Firestar and battalion chief, senior battalion chief of Six Nations Fire. What are we doing here today, Chief?
We're doing flashover training.
Flashover, all right. Pretty neat. Not many words from the big man. Not much of a talker, but you saw from the classroom clip. Very smart man. But anyways, let's get this all set up here. We're gonna get going, start first evolution. All right, everybody, so we're just gonna do a little voiceover here while we watch the first evolution. We're going into the can now after it's all been set up. Class is in there, and we're gonna shut the door because we're gonna let the fire build. And in a second here, we're gonna give you the inside view from the fire cam. And we're gonna jump between that and what's going on outside to be able to show you the fire growth when it dies, letting it regrow, and then as well as showing you how turbulent the smoke can be coming out the side, what the color of the smoke looks like, right, when we discuss those things. Okay, so right now we just have the door on the side there open so that we can kind of feed the fire with a little more air, because right now it's not hot enough for what we want to have happen, right? We gotta let the fire grow a little more so that way there will be more unburnt particles in the air after we shut that door and make it vent limited, right? So we gotta let that fire grow, we gotta let the can heat up. Right now everything's cold, so we gotta let it heat up, build up, and then we'll close that door to allow the flashover simulation to occur. Alright, so now we can see that we've got our fire going, the can's hot, right? We're showing a lot of smoke here. It's not exactly showing us anything dark, but we open that back door and look at all that brown, black smoke coming out the back. See how turbulent it is? That's the amount of heat pushing that out, right? And as it's going to die off here in a second, and that smoke coming out the back is going to turn white, that tells us that we've put water on our fire. So we watched it go from a vent limited to all the unburnt particles in the smoke inside turn into flame, right? That's why we call smoke, right? We don't just call it smoke anymore, we call it black fire, because that's what it really is. It's unburnt particles in the air that are superheated, that when introduced with oxygen, right, we get that proper mixture of heat, fuel, and air, or oxygen in this case, that creates our fire, right? All those unburnt particles, all of a sudden they get the proper amount of air in them with the heat and fuel, and boom, we get fire. And so that's right now rolling over our heads as it comes out the back. Got a full flashover occur for the students to watch. Then they're going to hit it with their line for a few seconds, die it down, cool it down just a little bit, and then we'll watch and see how that fire will grow back up again. We'll shut the door, open it back up again, and continue that process of watching that occur. And in a second here, we'll show you the inside look with no stupid voiceover from me. You get to experience all of the sound and watch everything and take it all in.
what I want you to do this time, now let it go for a bit, and after you hit it, just do a quick straight swing on the burn barrel. And then, not yet, the last station. On the burn barrel, okay? So hold up, hold up. Open both doors. Alright, hit the burn barrel real quick. Ready to go back. Good. Hold up. Yeah. It's falling down quite a bit now. Yeah. See that? Boom. Okay, let it go. That was no burn barrel. That's just the ceiling and the wall staying hot.
Well, that got pretty hot, and we got some good footage. Got the fire cam rolling in there. We'll get more in a minute, but for now we're gonna take a break. Everybody get some water, maybe discuss stuff, I don't know, but let's go. It's a good day.
Fire and expect it to go out.
Correct. So that was the burn barrel is the base of the fire. So if you followed our textbook and do a direct hit the base of the fire, we saw the burn barrel go out, but then what happened a few minutes after that? And where did it reignite?
Floor, walls.
Ceiling.
Correct. It didn't burn, or it didn't reignite in the burn barrel. The burn barrel did eventually reignite, but what reignited first was the far right corner of the ceiling and the walls, because why? There's still a lot of heat. A lot of heat in the walls, in the ceiling, and the floor, and that radiant heat is contributing to the incomplete combustion reigniting. So when you saw that, the lesson is don't just hit the base of the fire. We paint the room, wall, ceiling, wall, floor, and by doing that, we are hitting the fire in terms of cooling off the heat environment, and we're also hitting the base of the fire in terms of the wall, ceiling, wall, floor, wall, ceiling, wall, floor. We're hitting it, we're painting that room with water. And with having that smooth bore nozzle on there, with the larger fat drops of water, for those in the front, I know you were, and who was last in the front behind me on the other side? Could you feel water raining down?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he hit that with the rainbow pass just to kind of cool it off. And as he did, water went in, but also a lot of water rained down on us, which is what I want. I want to feel water raining. I mean, that means I got water going into the heat. It's surpassing the upper thermal layer. The thermal draft, it's making its way through it. It's hitting the ceiling, it's hitting the walls, and there's still a lot of water droplets left over to rain down on the floor where I am. And you saw that in the front of that last example there. All right, so the point we're trying to show visually is don't just hit the base. You got to cool off the environment. And that's what we look at. If I'm going in that main door, let's say that door is the main door to our building that we're going to go in, entry into, and make that interior tack. I'm starting from that door to cool off the wall, ceiling, floor as I make my way. If I don't, all that black fire, that black smoke will become what?
Fire.
It'll become fire. And now we're trapped, and now we're screwed at that point. Okay, so it's a good visual lesson for us to see there. Anything else you guys saw or learned in there?
How much water did we use to really control the heat and bring it down? Not much. So we can transcribe that into the reality as far as if we are going to a structure fire in a residence and there is a bedroom fire or a kitchen fire and we got that good fire growth and the ceiling and walls are going, it's traveling down. If I hit it with the right weapon, the right nozzle, the right water flow, the proper pressure, if I got enough water coming out and I hit it and paint it properly, it will not take that much water to knock it down and to drop that temperature. So if we're bringing on our frontline apparatus 1,000 gallons, that 1,000 gallons will do a lot of damage with 1 3/4 inch hand line going in first to really knock things down and pretty well put it out before we hook up our water supply or pull off a secondary line to go in. If we do it right, we're knocking it down right from the start. And if the fire goes away, what happens then? Problem solved, right? Fire's out. Now we can do the rest. We can see, we can vent, we can search, and go on from there. Good. Anything else you guys had or learned?
I think the direction of the smoke moving
Okay.
towards the fire.
So you saw that, right? So that's why it's important to have a flashlight with you. Carry a light. So the right angle flashlights, like what Ben's got, those are personal lights. That's not a search light. That's a personal light. Right? You'll want to get yourself a box light. That's going to help you search. And I can also use it to point up. It's got enough power to really look up, illuminate the smoke, and see which way the flow of air is going. That one's kind of hard if it's on your chest. It's kind of hard to take it and kind of point up and see what's going on, right? It's a personal light that I can put on that if I'm moving, I can see lights moving on the fire ground or in the building, I can see light moving. But if I see a light just kind of sitting like this, doing nothing, pointing up into the sky in a building and just motionless, I should know, hey, it's poor Ben. I got to get Ben out of here, right? So that's why it's a personal light. It's not a search light. Okay, good. We're gonna do it right now. We're gonna let that die down a little bit. We're gonna change our packs out. We're gonna load it back up and do it again. Unless you guys don't want to.
I want to.
All right, yeah, that's what I want to hear.
There we go, yeah.
Everything church mice here today. All right, so we're gonna go back in. We're gonna do it again, and hopefully with it being a little warmer in terms of the oven being a little more preheated, it should behave a little differently than it did the first time. All right. So yeah, so take your time, get yourselves rearranged, and we'll get this restocked.
Open the door. Open. Open the box door. Open it all right.
They're happening a lot quicker than they did the first time. So anything else stand out different from the first time to this time?
Definitely more heat.
You feel a bit more, yeah, it's warmer. Like the fuel containers or the oven's warmed up more. Anything else?
I felt they got a lot hotter when the door opened.
Yeah, because you're feeling, should be feeling convection air currents traveling past you to go to that exit opening now, right? So you will feel that sometimes. That's right. Anything else? Now we didn't have any thermals in there, and if we had a thermal imager, we could be able to see that development happening before it actually occurs, like visually, right? So we can see that smoke layer, or through the smoke layer, see that heat signature developing and what we can't see through, but the thermal can, and give an idea of what's happening above us. And then as we apply water, we would see in that thermal image the water being applied, things dropping, and then we would see then that thermal image show the rebuilding of that heat again on our fuel load. And it's quite interesting to see that happen on that image screen as opposed to the naked eye. Different perspective and seeing what happens with what we can't see. But you can see how a thermal helps you. So if I'm doing a search or a fire attack, it's going to help me to see what I can't see and get an idea of what I'm going into. So if I am looking at the floor real quick with my thermal, maybe I might see a nice dark area, which might indicate there might not be a floor there now because it's darker than the actual warm floor, right? Or if I'm looking to the upper atmosphere, I'm looking to see what I've got for my heat up there, what's happening for convection currents, where are they traveling to? Are they traveling above us? Are they traveling out somewhere else? So we can see those things with the thermal that we can't see with the naked eye. So having that's definitely going to be an asset, and you should always want to have one with you. I want to move that, we can put it facing, hold on. Let's put it facing right. That skids off. I'll put it right. Delivery team.
Sounds like a skid steer, right? Maybe.
I did notice the two different layers of smoke. So like you had the darker smoke. Yeah. And then the white smoke.
Break for lunch. We'll take a full hour and we can get ourselves rehabbed and refreshed with some food and nutrition. We'll get ourselves filling some bottles as well at the same time. After lunch, we're going to do some roll-in drills, and I'm going to do a little bit of thinking, see how I'm going to do this. I may bring the ladder truck down. I may use the ladder as opposed to the American LaFrance. Just for a couple different reasons, but I'll do some thinking over lunchtime because we may use this for some roll-in drills. It's got a little bit more realism, more fun for us in that capacity. All right, so let's break for lunch and then we'll pick up from there.
Hey guys, quick editor's note here, just letting you know that in this next video clip, the people that are doing the training, right, or that you have been seeing participating in the training are probationary firefighters with the Six Nations Fire Department, and this is training for them. So if you are going to comment, right, if you're a fireman with experience and you see something and you're like, they're doing that wrong, or no fire, no smoke training, they are probationary firefighters in their recruit class, right? Their shields, helmets, not a tinge of nothing to them, right? They just got to see some fire this morning. Some of them have been in burn classes before, but this is their recruit training for Six Nations. So they're learning to do things the Six Nations way, right? And that includes how they do a roll-in or a stretch, as I would call it, right? So don't judge, just watch, enjoy, and thank you for viewing the channel.
So we will use the berm building as our building of attack, and they'll be advancing the line, and they'll give direction to what door you're going to go to make your attack. And this has been taught last week for advancing, pulling it off, what you get the door, how to charge it, and how to advance it, how to flow it, and everything else. And then once we're done that drill, then we're going to shut everything down, disconnect everything, drain it, repack it, and do it again with 2 new people. So because you're on an odd number, there'll be one person who will get bonus time with the other, and we'll make it work. All right, just keep doing this, and then it's up to the officer to make you audible. So they may next time say, "Hey, we're going to pull the 2.5 as opposed to the 2 3/4." So if that's the case, now this truck, unfortunately, is set up. It's not set up for it, so you're fortunate it's not going to happen without. So we could use the engine 1 if you want to for that rear 2.5 line. You guys were taught that last week, I believe, right? The rear 2.5 supply. Yep, with the 1 3/4 hand line on top of that, so it's got a nozzle. Take off the tip, add on your 1 3/4, and there you go from there as an extension. You could also use that for if we need to. Okay, so with that, you will not need your pack because there's already packs in the seats of the ladder, but you will need your face piece, so use that, and we'll get ready. Who wants to be the first to go? All right, Stephen and Vlad, you guys are in the back. I'm your driver, and then we'll have Justin. JS will be your officer.
You guys ready for water? Water!
pressure. Get a long hallway. It goes in a long hallway to the left. Long hallway down that way, okay? Okay. Right, you have that shit. You're hurt, you have your hood on. Alright, good. Are you the on-scene chief? Going left. You go inside there. Feed him right, feed him right. Let me know when he's reached the scene of the fire. Hey, did you reach the scene of the fire? What's that? That's all you got. Hang on. Fire, we got agent applied. Copy that. Agent applied here, agent applied. Good. Good? All right. I gotcha.
Outside ladder put up on a window. Look at that.
We already got the whole ladder.
Guys, I'm wondering too. You know how much a small crew can do all the work here? The operator, while these guys are going in, operator still got out, set up the aerial, and had the ladder, building ladder, in case he had to go up to the second floor. So with a small amount of power, you can do quite a bit of work.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me here on the Firestar USA YouTube channel. I look forward to keep making more videos like this. If you guys liked it, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing more of these. If there's anything that you liked in particular, didn't like, or you just really liked it and you just want to leave a comment just because, go down in those comments, ask questions, talk amongst yourselves, whatever. But yeah, I'll try and keep up on those comments. If you do have any questions, try and answer them in future videos. But thank you for joining me here today on our channel, and hopefully we'll be able to keep posting more of this kind of content. And I hope you all stick around for the ride. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.